The broadcast mechanism enables the communication between application components. With it, we can send various signals between components and react to them in other components. This mechanism consists of two parts. We have broadcasts, which are usually intents, sent to various types of components. Then we have a broadcast receiver, that is a special component whose task is to receive broadcasts and react accordingly. On the one hand, we can use them statically, that is, register them in the manifest and inform about the broadcasts that we want to react to using the intent filter. On the other hand, we can register them dynamically. In the application code, we specify that from this moment on, we want to listen to specific broadcasts using a broadcast object. Dynamic broadcasts can also be unregistered. This means that we can accurately specify the place of starting and finishing of listening to a specific broadcast. We use statically registered broadcast receivers mainly to handle system broadcasts. There are a lot of broadcasts sent by the system depending on the event which took place. Boot completed may serve as an appropriate example. This is a broadcast that's sent the moment the application start is completed. If we register to such a broadcast, we are told when we can start the application right after the phone is turned on. Thanks to this, we may have an application starting together with the system. Other examples of broadcasts sent by the system may be the information about new incoming messages or phone calls. Most broadcasts require certain permissions. The application may ask for permission to receive a certain type of broadcast. Otherwise, it would not receive them. Dynamically registered broadcasts are used mainly to communicate between the components of our application. In one place, for instance, a service, we send a broadcast, the activity dynamically registers a broadcast receiver, and is able to determine the time during which it wants to receive information that a certain event took place. In our case, we'll use a dynamic broadcast receiver. Thanks to this, we'll be able to inform the activity from the service that the database modification has already ended. We start the implementation by sending a broadcast. To do so, we'll call the sendBroadcast method. This method takes the intent which we must create. Let's use one more constructor, which is available in the intent, which takes a string representing an action. With the action, we can distinguish which broadcast receiver has to react to specific intents. In our case, we have to create such an action. Because broadcasts are global, it's good to begin our own action from the package name. According to the convention, the action name is written in capitals. We'll need the action in one more place, so let's transform it into a constant. Since we've already handled the broadcast, it has to be received somewhere as well. We'll be most interested in this broadcast in the to-do list activity. We start by creating the broadcast receiver, which will react to the broadcast. We implement it as an anonymous class. Because of this, we create a private field. We have to implement the onReceive method. This method receives the context and the intent. It's exactly the same intent that was sent during the broadcast. It can store certain data. The way we did it when sending data between two activities using the result mechanism. In our case, it's a fairly simple implementation because we only refresh the list of our tasks after getting the information about the change of the database. We call the refresh cursor method, so the issue of the broadcast receiver itself is already handled. Now, we just have to register and unregister the broadcast in the proper places. In terms of the activity, the moment when the user stops seeing our activity and begins to see it again is a good place for it, particularly if we're dealing with a list refresh. This place is on pause on resume, where the activity is in the running state. That's why we'll implement these two methods and call in them the right methods which manage our receiver. In onPause, we unregister the event using the unregisterReceiver method, to which we pass the receiver object which we want to unregister. Similarly, we want to register the receiver in onResume. We pass the receiver and the intent filter to the registerReceiver method. Its task is to intercept the right type of broadcast and inform about it only the moment it takes place. We create an instance of the intent filter and pass an action as its parameter. In our case, it's the action we created a moment ago. From now on, we manage our broadcast receiver. We register and unregister it in the appropriate moments. Thanks to this, we react to the broadcast receiver only when necessary. We can test our application now. We enter some data via the web application. In the device, we perform the refresh action. The data is displayed in a reverse order to the one we added it in. Additionally, we received a notification that two new methods have appeared. Currently, our application meets most of our expectations. We could actually try publishing it in Google Play. Thanks for your attention.